Managers of Reddit, what is a Karen experience like? What was your worst experience? I loved Karens when I was managing. Being able to say I am the manager followed soon by sorry, that's company policy always results in a flustered Karen leaving in a huff and a much relieved crew. Happened before I became a manager, but once while I was serving at Steak and Shake, customer had a coupon for a burger, fries and a shake $4.XXX. Can't remember the price anymore. Anyway, on the coupon it specifically stated that cheese on the burger was 39 cents upcharge, although it did have a picture of a burger with cheese on it. Lady threw a fit in the dining room that I was treating her unfairly, it was false advertising, etc. etc. I told her I agree it's false advertising with the picture, but the text specifically states the upcharge and unfortunately I can't do anything about it. The lady at the next table overheard everything and literally got up and put 50 cents on the table to cover it and said something to the effect of "I'll pay for your damn cheese if you just shut up." This pissed the cheese lady off even more. My manager obviously sensed the issue and came out, took the cheese upcharge of the bill. Like what the frick, Karen? Work at a vacuum repair shop. People don't pay attention to their vacuum cleaners as much as you'd think, lol. I can't tell you how many times someone comes to pick up their vacuum and says, "Oh, this one isn't mine," or "Mine didn't have scratches down the side." I can tell you it is, and it came in with all those scratches on the side. After the first 2 times it happened to me, we started taking pictures of the unit with serial numbers and customer info, send them home with the serial number and require them to bring it back for pickup. Despite the evidence, I've had a lady close to tears because we didn't have her vacuum. Even with the pictures we had of it at drop off, her information, the matching serial numbers. Sure, it's a big conspiracy, we just love taking in vacuums and switching all the information around. Because it's fun. People need to pay more attention. I was the only person on shift, which made me the de facto manager. 5 minutes before closing, a woman comes in and is so angry that we don't have any decaf. She demands to speak to the manager. I tell her that's me, because I'm the only one here, and the coffee pots are cleaned for the night, because it's 5 minutes to close. No, I'm sorry. I can't make another pot just for her. There's another place around the corner. She screams at me, tells me she's going to find a real manager and get my lot ass fired, throws half a cup of cappuccino machine sludge at me, and starts to look like she's gonna jump the counter. I'm holding a hammer under the counter thinking, don't do it, don't do it. I pick up the phone like I'm going to call the cops. She leaves. I lock the door. She comes back and runs face-first into the glass door, like a bird. Bestest of the best interactions I ever had. Karen griped about not wanting to pay the price for the services performed on her computer, which was exactly the price quoted when she dropped it off and which she had signed for. She demanded to speak to the service manager. I called him from the back. Service manager listened to her spiel as to how she should get a lower price. Because, irrelevant, pea-brained reason. Service manager made eye contact with me over her shoulder. I did not react. He said no. Price quoted was the price that would be charged. She said that was unacceptable, and she would be complaining to the owner, who was a good friend. Service manager observed that he was evidently not that good a friend, since that he, me, was the person she was originally speaking with when she asked for the service manager. Her face was glorious, and made the whole thing worthwhile. Wasn't the manager, but worked at an REI for a while. One incident comes to mind though, involving an ex-marine who worked at our store fixing bikes. He had to run to the back to grab a part, and as he was going back to the bike shop on the other side of the store, a customer who was already being pretty loud and aggressive with everyone decided to grab my co-worker by the arm very aggressively and try spin him around to face him. Marine training kicked in, and the next thing I know, angry customer man is laying in the remains of a display about 8 feet away. Of course he jumps up screaming and yelling that he's going to sue us and get my co-worker fired, and we're all going to jail, yada yada yada. Manager comes out, heard the story, looks at the security footage, and tells the customer he is never allowed to grab employees like that. He's welcome to call the cops if he would like, because she's willing to press charges against him for assault, and he was banned from our store. No one at the store was upset about losing that customer. He was kind of notorious for being a jerk and constantly trying to abuse our return policy. Not a manager, but I used to work in a call center and had plenty of Karens who wanted to talk to someone above me because they thought the world existed to cater to them. I always went back into their accounts to review the notes to see what was done. 9 out of 10 times they were given whatever they wanted even if it wasn't justified. Which is so freaking stupid. Enabling these people's behavior is what's got them feeling so entitled in the first place. I once told a woman if she didn't pay for her services, after 60 days they'd be interrupted. She responded with, "Excuse me, I'm a valued customer and that is not how I will be treated." Or something to that effect. Freaking ridiculous. I love the ones who seem to think extra food is free. You're not going to go anywhere and get extra meat, queso, guacamole, etc. for free. I had a couple come and got a salad. They asked for extra meat, then queso, then even more queso. I told them they would be charged for each scoop. She flipped out. She started cussing at me about how it's wrong, she shouldn't have to pay for more than one. Why must we be so expensive? The other location does not do this. I gave her a big smile and let her know I am the general manager of that said store and help here when needed. So no, you do not get that treatment there, sorry, extra food is not free. She then started screaming for corporate number and the store owner. I told her I couldn't give out people's private numbers and told her to leave, and she is now banned from both stores. She did put in a complaint, and guess who sees them and makes return calls? Me. She hung up on me when I called. I was working at a public pool in my town, and the rules are that you can't bring outside food or drinks into the pool. This rule didn't please Karen, who was very eager to let me know that she had just spent $12 on this coffee from Starbucks. She argues with me by saying that the public pool in the next town over allows it. I keep saying the same rehearsed response, that it's our policy that outside food and drinks can't come in the pool. Anyways, she dumped the coffee onto our computer and I called the police. After going back and forth on an issue we couldn't help with, the customer on the phone said something to the effect of, "Well, that's not good enough." And after being fed up I simply said, "Well, you not liking the answer doesn't mean the answer changes." And she said, "That's really unprofessional." And I said, "You thinking it's unprofessional also doesn't change the answer." And then she said, "Let me talk with your manager." To which I got to say, "I am the manager. We're going in circles. If you'd like you can email me at manager@companymail, in which case I'll review your complaints to determine if it needs to be escalated." She was not happy when she hung up. My manager was laughing though. I think the one standout I remember was a few years ago when my company, cell phone provider, gave everyone unlimited data for like 3 months for no charge. It was essentially a stress test on our network, but everyone was getting free data so it wasn't like anyone could complain. Or so I thought. I talked to one lady who had demanded a manager because unlimited phone data wasn't enough. They wanted unlimited data on their hotspot as well. She then threatened to get us all fired because we wouldn't give her unlimited data through her hotspot, which was actually a feature we didn't even offer paying customers at the time. She ranted and raved for a while and we ended up passing her between like 5 levels of supervisors before she gave up. Former fast food worker reporting about a male Karen. He came through the drive-thru and handed me what I knew to be a fake $100 bill. I knew it was fake, but the process was to make sure the deposit box bill feeder didn't accept it. Well, of course it didn't, because that chute was fake. So he pulls around and comes inside yelling and calling me racist. Dude was black, because I wouldn't take his fake 100. He called for the manager and I bailed to the back, because I wanted to leave the Twilight Zone. This was 30 years ago and there was literally no way I could help this woman. She left while yelling that she hoped my dog died. Not a manager, but a kitchen chef in a pizzeria. We occasionally get this lady that orders a pizza then tries to complain about it in order to get it for free. We always deny her and she always threatens to give us a bad review of Yelp or riches to whoever is unfortunate enough to be on the phone with her. One time, she ordered a pizza with gluten-free crust and complained that the crust was too doughy, so she demanded it to be free. Gluten-free crusts are as crispy as a cracker when they come out of the oven and are almost the same while we make it. Even if someone didn't bake it in the oven beforehand for whatever reason, it's virtually impossible for it to be doughy. For about a week, all of us would tell each other, make sure that it isn't too doughy as a joke when we had to make gluten-free pizzas. I had an actual Karen as a manager. Two-faced, played favorites and had this annoying nervous laugh she would use at the end of everything she said, as if to punctuate the idiocy of her statement. I think, haha, that we should try it this way, haha, because it, haha, might, haha, work better. Yes, she talked just like that. I used to work as a manager at a sandwich shop. Our policy for any pickup orders was to not cook their fries until the customer came in so that they have fresh fries. This is always told to the customer on the phone. I had this one itch call in her order and ask me if I could cook the fries immediately so that she didn't have to wait them. I told her I couldn't do that, because if she doesn't come in to pick her order up within about 5 minutes, those fries will be soggy and cold. She seemed to understand this. She ends up showing up about 45 minutes after she placed the order and proceeded to yell at me because her fries weren't ready. I explained to her that if I had cooked her fries when she placed the order that they would be very cold and soggy because she took 45 minutes to come pick her order up. She didn't care. She continued to yell at me about how she's a nurse and has no time to wait for the fries. I told her, oh well, you either need to wait for them to cook, which takes literally 2 minutes to cook, or leave. She waited. What a bitch.